Welcome back to Where You Live. Tanner Francois from the Little Shuswap Lake Indian Band and Frank Marchand from the Okanagan Indian Band have been visiting area schools with what will soon be a completed 17-foot canoe. They're giving students like those here at Twin Rivers Education Center the opportunity to participate hands-on in this cultural practice. Tell us a little bit about what's going on here behind us at Twin Rivers Education Center today.
We have guests here from the Quayote Lodge, Frank Marchand and Tanner, who have been working on 2 canoes out at the lodge on the Shuswap there. So they are coming in today to start a round of secondary schools. So they will be taking the canoe around to all the secondary schools in Kamloops, I believe, to give students the opportunity to see what they're doing, hear a bit about the history and what kind of led to this process, and then kind of get in there.
Yeah. Now, have you actually had a hand yourself in doing anything?
I have. I just gave it a try myself. Actually, it's harder than it looks.
Okay. Yeah, maybe take me through kind of what you did and the work that goes into one of these. I hear it takes 6 months to make one.
Well, I was about a 2-second try there, swinging the, I'm not sure if it's an axe or a...
Some sort of tool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I know that Frank has been building canoes all his life, and so he's really just sharing his knowledge now with the community, with schools, and anyone who's willing to kind of step in and give it a try.
Now, we had some students coming in and out. It's a bit of a drop-in casual thing here. They can give a go at things. What do you think they're getting out of it? What's the purpose of having the kids come by and really hands-on experience something like this?
Well, for this school in particular, like Four Directions is essentially a school of choice within this district. So students who have an Aboriginal background themselves have the opportunity to come and be part of a program that always has that in kind of the forefront of our mind in terms of our planning. But a huge piece of the new curriculum that's coming in at the secondary level, it has that Indigenous focus and really bringing in those understandings for everybody. So having this opportunity to have kids get in there, really hear and see what's happening is just kind of hopefully what's the beginning of more and more Aboriginal content for all students.
Now, this is obviously a great example of that, but it's also a great example of something that's hands-on and practical. It'd be, one thing to have someone come in and speak in front of a presentation, but can you speak to the hands-on learning, the getting to actually see something and touch something for students?
The First Peoples Principles of Learning is another kind of baseline for understanding the Aboriginal worldview and how it affects the way that we put together curriculum for students, and the hands-on piece is a huge component there. So really understanding that so much learning takes place in different settings outside 4 walls of a school, and just really honoring the power of just doing something yourself, kind of feeling your way through it, trying it out, and we try to do that as much as we can. Get out of the school.
We're here doing a presentation on how to make a canoe, how to explain what the canoe uses for in the Shuswap territory, Secwepemc territory, and we're just letting them do the hands-on digging and grinding of the canoe here and carving. So.
Now, we can obviously see it in progress behind us, but maybe explain specifically how much work goes into it, what they're actually doing, and how long it takes from start to finish.
Well, start to finish, usually 6 months. 6 months of doing this every day. So we've been doing this since February 6th, and we're about halfway done. So, and we've had various schools working on a canoe. This is the first time we've brought the canoe anywhere for the kids to actually work on it in the school, because school budgets are a bit touchy lately. So there's no really school budgets to go travel all the time for all schools. So why not bring the canoe to the schools?
Now, what are the kids taking away? Obviously, they're learning some practical skills. They're learning how to use some tools and how to make the canoe, but are there any sort of secondary things that they're taking away from it?
The secondary thing is learning that it's not all easy. It's not everything's easily done. You can't depend on your cell phone or technology to do all this stuff. And they're learning what hands-on experience is all about, which is kind of rare these days. So. And
what do you like about being out here with some students, maybe teaching young minds what you know how to do?
Oh yeah, that too, but at the same time too is just watching the kids learn, and the teachers learn from it too. The teachers are just as excited as the kids are. So learning and bringing these canoes right into the school district here in Kamloops, and we'll be at a different school every Wednesday, is interesting because they all get to learn. So.
Now, what will happen with this particular canoe once it's complete? Is it going to go anywhere, or is it just going to sit somewhere?
It's going to touch the water once, June 21st at the Quayote Lodge for their 25th anniversary, but also for Aboriginal Day. But it's going to touch the water once, and it's going to be put in a display case and left there for good, because this is a strictly hand tool one. The other canoe they'll use regular is a 25-foot canoe we have. This one's 15 feet 5 inches, which we found out today. So,
take me through some of the tools that you might use to make this canoe here today. We've got some sitting here in front of us.
Yeah, my favorite one so far is the short-handled adze. So we see on the canoe itself, every single one of these chips is this tool. So it's a lot of hard work.
So you're just sort of standing at the end or standing on top and just sort of hulling it out, basically.
Yeah, for hollowing it out, we've been using these longer handle ones.
Okay.
So this flat blade one, that's just for the very bottom. And then we have a curved one. It's kind of the same as this guy, but with a long handle. And that's for getting the corners on the inside. So we have to stand on top and we're just between our legs the whole time. But when we're doing the sides of the canoe with the short handle, we want to flip the canoe on its side so we don't have a better angle.
Now, Jade is up there using another tool that's sort of...
The draw blade. Draw blade. It's one of my other favorites. So you see the entire side where it used to be bark. What I've been doing is I would take an axe and I get rid of all of the thicker bark first.
Right.
And then I get down to this, I can't remember what the inner piece is between the actual tree itself and
Some technical
bark.
term.
Yeah, something like that. That's where the draw blade comes in, and it makes it this so smooth, so nice. And we're not allowed to sand it using any power tools, so that's what we're doing with the draw blade.
Expand a little bit more on this as an experience for you guys, for guests at the lodge, and also for the students here today. What are they getting out of it?
For myself and for my community, the last time we built one of these canoes, it was over 65 years ago or so. So for my generation, it's a rediscovery, and for our elders, it's doing something that they heard their parents doing and they didn't get to do it. And again, I can only speak for my community. So there's other communities that were doing it just from doing these canoes, because we have another canoe, a bigger canoe. And when they come around and they're watching what we're doing, they definitely have heard stories and seen them. They know how to build them. We just haven't built one in such a long time. So that's the healing process of bringing back something our ancestors were doing, and being able to jump in it for myself and to maintain this part of who we were. And then when it comes to the educational, for everyone that's non-Aboriginal or has no native blood in them whatsoever, for me and my goals is to share the knowledge as much as possible so it's out there and it stays out there and it's not disappearing. We have all these different people that are learning from us. We have to get it out of there. The old ways wasn't working, keeping it within us. Share it and it stays and it grows. And everyone, it brings an awareness. That's my favorite part doing these tours, is bringing the awareness about who we were. Because a lot of our own, even local people living right next to any First Nation community doesn't know a whole lot. I guess they're afraid to ask how to bring out ask the questions. So my goal is to just share it as much as possible. Connects us together.
So Jade, you were just having a little go with the canoe behind us here. Tell me what you were doing on this particular one.
I was smoothing it out, I'm pretty sure,
Okay.
and hollowing it.
Yeah. So you're working with some elders. What did you learn from them? Did they give you any insight into what it takes to make a canoe?
Just a lot of respect. Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah.
And not to have negative energy.
So there's a little bit of knowledge around being positive and having the right energy that you're putting into the canoe, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what do you like about having something like this here at Twin Rivers to do, to break up your school day, to come out here and learn a little bit hands-on? What do you like about that?
You get to learn more about your culture and where you come from and stuff.
Now, have you ever built a canoe? Is this something you've ever tried before?
At my old school, we tried, but none of us really participated. I don't know. No.
And is this something you might try again? Did you like it?
Yeah, it was fun.
What did you contribute to the canoe?
I just helped carve a bit of it, and just gonna help out while it's here. And it's good experience.
Yeah. Now, have you ever tried something like this before, or is this the first for you?
This is the first for me. It's pretty cool that they, just got to school and they're doing this, so decided to hop in.
Surprised, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, there are some people who know a little bit more about this. They have their expertise.
Yeah.
Let's start that over one more time. Good. There are some. It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. There are some people behind us who are professionals at this. They know what they're doing. What did you learn from them? Were you able to sort of chat with them and learn some techniques?
Yeah, but it's I can't really explain it. But I find it cool how they're going to all the high schools and just to get people to help out and pitch in with everything, because most teens my age and in high school don't get in touch with their roots, especially with traditional roots like building this canoe.
And why is that important to you? Why is that something that you think you really enjoy, getting back to your roots or learning about that?
Because like people nowadays aren't with their roots, and we're slowly losing our culture and everything. But like with this, like people, Frank, it's just like he's helped bring him back, and it's pretty cool.
So you recognize that that's something that you're sort of feeling is being lost a little bit, and you want to do your part to make sure it stays around.
Yeah, just like knowing your culture slowly fading away, and like majority of the kids don't even know one word of their language or don't know anything of their language or culture, and it's like kind of embarrassing when people don't. Just like makes you feel like disconnected and like not having a being and like a purpose, and without a culture.
So something like this, something hands-on where you actually get to see a canoe, you get to try it yourself, that's a really great way to sort of connect yourself back, would you say?
Yeah, just like hands-on and like actually physically being like doing things rather than just looking through like a book about your culture. When like why read about it when you can go out and do it?
I just am really grateful and want to say thank you to Frank and Tanner and the team that have been working on this. Frank Antoine as well from the Quail Lodge. So thank them for coming into town today. And we'll actually be coming out as a group. We're having our year-end trip out of the Quail Lodge. So we will have the chance to see the canoes just as they're coming to the final stage, because they have to be ready for Aboriginal Day on the 21st of June.